guys, welcome back to day 6.5 of Vlogmas. Yay! I'm actually filming this on the morning of day 7, so if you see the same outfit tomorrow, it's not because I wore it 2 days in a row or anything. But yesterday was a little bit of a cluster, I'm not gonna lie to you, and I was not in a space where I wanted to turn on a camera, and so I didn't film anything. But then as I kind of thought about it overnight, I was like, you know what? The lead up to the holidays is not always super perky and happy, so I figured even though I don't have any footage from yesterday, I would go ahead and do a recap and open my yarn anyway, just to kind of blech. So sorry it's not a super happy day, but you know, hopefully things can only get better. So, you know, the day before, had the sheep attack, the coyote attack on the sheep didn't attack anybody. So that was not fun. That night, I was like, I'm gonna go to bed, you know, kind of early, and then that way I can get up really early for my car appointment the next day. Well, Brutus, can you come up? You say hi to the people? He's very big. Brutus, look at camera. Look, Brutus. Mr. Brutus got out of bed in the middle of the night, and he ran over to the bedroom door, and he threw up, which happens sometimes because he and Anya are both throw-uppy dogs. And I was like, oh, I don't feel like getting up. I'll just go clean it up in the morning. Whatever, it's fine. That was the middle of the night, so I wasn't really thinking clearly about leaving dog vomit on the floor. But then you heard a thud, and a thud, 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 thud. And I'm like, oh my God, what is it? So I got up, and poor Bubby was having a seizure. It was super scary. It didn't last too long, thankfully. He was a little disoriented afterwards, but he was better. We went out for a little walkie. He had peed, so I got the floor cleaned up, his throw up cleaned up, got him wiped down. I didn't want to give him a full bath because I didn't want him to be cold. So he just got a good wipe down and then a bath later. But he seems to be okay now, but I was super worried about him. So I got like no sleep before my car appointment, which, yay, super exciting, right? All right, sorry, Brutus, I'll put you back down. He's like, I don't like this sitting on laps. This is confusing. This is confusing. There you go, buddy. Oh, good boy. Oh, I know you're the best dog ever. You're a good boy. I know you're a good boy. I know. Anyway, so it's my good boy. Car appointment. I had to go back because the day before they had said I needed a new part and they ordered it, but it would be the next day. So anyway, so I got there at about 8 o'clock in the morning, sat, was doing some knitting. Actually, I'll show you when I go to open my Magpie, how far I got on my Magpie advent. So it's super far, but it's coming together and I really like it. And I got to work and I did all kinds of work and that was fun. Ran around outside delivering candles and stuff. So that was all good. And then in the afternoon, my boss walked into the room and he's like, hey, so you do that second Sundays thing, right? You know, what do you think about it? And I'm like, it's happening on Sunday. Like, should I have a thought about it? And he's like, Google. I'm like, oh, crud. I don't go on the news for a reason. And so I looked and Second Sundays has completely blown up. Basically, what has happened, my understanding of it, is that essentially a local Jewish group, a rabbi, specifically asked if he could do a menorah lighting at Second Sundays. Second Sundays is art, music, non-denominational. They had kind of been talking about it a little bit because they do like promoting like different cultures and things. So it'd be a little bit of a twist on the Christmas holiday season. But eventually the organizer was like, you know what, we never allow any religious participation, so we're gonna have to say no. Rabbi wouldn't take no for an answer, kept pushing. And the coordinator came back with some reasons in addition to it just doesn't work out, and had a caveat as to a way that they would let it happen. Neither of which were appropriate in any way, shape, or form. And the rabbi got mad and went to the media and posted all these private conversations and stuff. Curiously, he keeps saying like she had pretty much agreed to it and blah, 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 and all that kind of stuff. However, he curiously did not release any of the communications where she had agreed to it or her initial rejection where she just said kind of, so sorry, it's not going to work out. He only posted the things that she said at the end, after he had pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed, and she got mad and said things that she should not have said, especially as a representative of a nonprofit organization, that like nobody else who participates in this event had any option of voicing their opinion or giving a vote or anything like that. So that's unfortunate. There is still going to be a menorah lighting. There was already one scheduled at the College of William and Mary, and so they're just advertising to make that a little bit bigger. Other options could have been, in the past, they've actually asked Colonial Williamsburg to do a menorah lighting, and they agreed. They said, yeah, they're going to do it right in front of the governor's palace. Historically, we had one Jewish gentleman in town. He wasn't a gentleman. He was a guy. He couldn't have been a gentleman due to his job, but he was a doctor. And he actually worked at the public hospital, which was the asylum in town. And so that could have been a really cool connection. Unfortunately, the last time they asked and were given permission, the rabbi had moved it to a different location, so it never happened. But he could have asked, and I'm sure Colonial Williamsburg would have said yes, because we love stuff like that. But it got all kinds of backlash. People were saying, like, Williamsburg cancels menorah lighting. It wasn't canceled. It was never scheduled. People are like posting things about, if vendors decide to support this event, then they're all going to be, they're going to be labeled as anti-Semitic, and how could, horrible people, they're all horrible. They should, they're a hate group. The vendors are just people who make pretty stuff. It's small businesses, and it's not fair. Weren't we just talking about how it's not fair to label an entire group for the actions of a few? Is that not the lesson here? And so people were flipping out and posting all kinds of horrible things and talking bad about the vendors. And it's like, you've completely missed the point on like all of this. So sure, you can boycott Second Sundays. Don't come, don't shop. You can go to Walmart and buy your gifts there instead. But the person you're trying to hurt, the coordinator who said things that she should not have said at all, she's not the one who makes a profit off of this. I don't know. I don't even know if she draws a salary from this at all. I haven't looked into their charters and their documents that much, but she puts tons of work into it. But it's not like a living for her. Like it's not her job. She has a day job. This is something she does on the side. And so if you boycott and don't come because of the things she said, you're not hurting her. You're hurting the 150 artisans and vendors and small businesses who are trying to make one last sale before Christmas. After December is over, and actually probably over the next couple of weeks, our season's done. We don't start up again. I mean, markets don't really start up again until spring, maybe March if you're lucky. April or May tends to be more common for a lot of events. And so holiday sales are what get vendors through the off season. And by people blaming the vendors for something that the coordinator said, it's just not fair. And it's messing with the livelihood of a lot of people. I'm, in fact, still waiting on a message from the coordinator to, apologize and tell us as a organization, as vendors for a nonprofit, what's our stance? Like, what are we going to do on Sunday? Are we still going? Like, are we all gonna, I don't even know. I don't even know. I sent her an email. I'm sure it's like buried underneath everything. So I'm hoping she still puts out a statement to the vendors at least to let us know what the heck is going on. I also reached out to the city because I was like, hey, the city is trying to distance themselves from this organization that is not the city of Williamsburg. Maybe they would like to put on a holiday market, get together with Colonial Williamsburg, maybe use the art museum lawn or something, and they can offer to all the vendors who are usually there on second Sunday that if you want to come over, come do this thing. I even offered to help. And the city is basically like, oh, well, there's a market going on like over behind the art museum. Why don't you ask if you can go there? Or if you want to start your own event, here's the application for a city permit. And I'm like, thank you for supporting small businesses, and we are all going to remember this in the next election. Not that I can vote in City of Williamsburg elections because I don't actually live in the City of Williamsburg, but that's not the point. I'm going to remember it during election season. So that was pretty much useless because all those spots are already filled. They've been filled absolutely for months. Sorry, Brutus is moving the tripod. And there's no way anybody can get into any sort of holiday market to replace this lost one because everything's been full since like August. There's no other options. So I'm going to sit on it. I'm going to wait and see. I didn't get any market prep done yesterday because I was so stressed out about all of it. And so, yeah. I'm going to have to do double time today and tomorrow and Friday and Saturday. It'll be fine. We'll get there. It'll be fine. Even if Second Sundays ends up not happening this Sunday, I can still put it in my little shop area as well. So that'll be fine. But I'm hoping it kind of falls off the news by then and the handful of people who are up in arms about it calm down and just don't come sort of things. Hang on, buddy. Ivan's very upset at being kicked out of the room, but he's so noisy when he's in here and I'm trying to talk. So I checked this morning to see if things had calmed down online. And if you looked up Second Sundays yesterday, it was like 3 pages deep of articles about this. Today, it's the first few articles, and then it's all like, hey, Second Sundays is an event in Williamsburg. Come out and check out the market, that sort of thing. So I think we'll keep an eye on it, and we'll make a decision on Sunday. Then last night, I was going to go to bed nice and early, and so it was like 9 o'clock or something, and I got home, and I went to put my bag in my bedroom before I took everybody out for their walk, and Brutus, Mr. I can't be mad at him because he was sick the night before, jumped up on the bed and started to go potty. Now, he tried to get off the bed. He tried to get out of the room, but he still peed on my body pillow and on my blanket and on my sheets. And so I was like, oh my God. So I had to strip all that off. Fortunately, my other blanket that I like keep in rotation, the dogs had pulled off like the shelf where I keep it and had laid on it. So it was kind of icky and needed to be washed again. But I had a spare blanket that I've been keeping in the closet for nice. And so I used that, and I had clean sheets, so I switched that all out. And then the dogs would not settle down all night long. It was like one thing after the other. And so I got like no sleep last night. Had a horrible headache this morning. So I told my boss, I was like, I'm going to work from home this morning. I've run down a little bit, and then I film this, and I'll go back to doing some more work, and then I might check on the sheep, and then I think I'll go back in the afternoon because I'm starting to feel a little bit better. My head is not as bad as it was this morning. So, yeah. Let's get to happy stuff. So, Advent knitting. Yay! Day 6. So this is the hedgehog fibers. And we'll go ahead and open her up. Ooh. I don't like brown. It's kind of pretty. I don't know. I'm going to reserve judgment. It's a nice color combination. So it has brown and purple with maybe like a light blue base. It's got like some little yellow sparkles. Not sparkles, speckles. So we're starting to move away from that neon yellow, it looks like. It is pretty. I think it'll knit up nicely. I'm only a brown person if like I'm knitting like a sweater or intentionally doing something a little bit more neutral. But yeah, overall it's a nice color. So there we go with that. Now for magpie fibers, so I did not quite get to the third color yet. I think I'll be able to make it there today because I'm close. And I forgot to put a stitch marker in yesterday, so I'll have to add a stitch marker today. But this is where I am. This is the For Granny shawl, and I added an I-cord edge to it. I don't know how that'll impact my overall need for like yarn yardage because the border does add a little bit to it, but I think it's totally worth it. Look how clean and pretty that looks. So really, really happy with that. And then I was concerned because like those two are kind of a leap between colors, but look at like, I think that'll be pretty as like the next section because this will be solid. This won't be striped. So I'm really excited about that, and I'm close. I'm only a few rows away. So hopefully tomorrow I'll have a bigger update here. Let's go ahead and open the box. Okay, so here is box number 6. Sounds like yarn again, so let's go ahead and open. I hope one of these isn't breakable and you hear like a crunch as I shake it. It is yarn. Okay. Oh, now this one I really like. maybe I am still in my purple kick. I really like these purple colors. It's kind of hard to see, but it's like a smoky purple with little specks of like that vermilion color that show up in the, what was that first color? I can't remember what the first color was. Capricorn? I think it was Capricorn. So it has that in there. And of course it breaks a little bit, so you get like flecks of some other colors. That is really, really pretty. And so this will also be a solid section next to this. I think that'll be nice. That'll be a fun combination. Okay, so that is the color for Pisces right there. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and line these two guys up and I will get right back to you. All right, so here are our two colors all caked up. They actually kind of go together today. I like that combination. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these back in the boxes so they don't get mixed up. But I think I'm gonna end here for today, slash yesterday. And I will go ahead and start today's video and I'll see you then. Bye guys.